Shalane from TSC Tuition, and today I'll be reviewing a body paragraph on Kate Grenville's The Lieutenant. The student sample that I'll be reviewing today comes courtesy of ATAR Notes. I'll put the link in the description box, so click on that, have a read before you continue with this video. Straight away we can see that this body paragraph is not really long enough for a body paragraph. I would say for a year 12 level, which I'm assuming this is because it's on The Lieutenant, this is probably closer to about half a body paragraph. So I would expect in a fully fledged, written body paragraph as part of a 3 body paragraph essay, there should be another half at least to this in order for this to be a full body paragraph. But having said that, I think it starts off quite well. The topic sentence, I think, is really clear. It tells me what the body paragraph is about, that it's about how duty and obedience conflict with morality. So if we're following a teal structure here, that second sentence is missing some evidence. I know that this student is using a scene or an event to prove their point, but it would be really great if we could see some quotes in there, maybe something about moral conflict or something about him assisting the kidnapping or something about the kidnapping. Like a couple of quotes here and there throughout this evidence sentence would make the analysis that much stronger, because later on it's going to give you something to talk about. And then in that third sentence, where if we're following a teal structure, this needs to be an evidence sentence, I'm being teased with these dialogues and descriptions of the outside world, but I'm not being given the actual evidence of what this dialogue is or what these descriptions are. So I think we're really missing some golden opportunities here for lots of quotes to be used as evidence. And really, I think this looks more like an evidence sentence, if I'm being honest, than the one before. That second sentence, this is illustrated through his moral conflict, is really a bit of a doing nothing sort of sentence. It's not telling me what the body paragraph idea is. It's not telling me how this student is interpreting the event. It's not giving me evidence to support the idea. It's not really analyzing anything. So that second sentence, even though it's taking the place of an evidence sentence, it's not doing a lot for the student. And that third sentence, I think, is doing much more in terms of providing, well, not really providing evidence, because we're really not getting much quotes here except for that last one where it says that he wished he had not obeyed. But again, I think that's too little too late towards the end. By this stage, I'm really expecting some analysis going on already. We are 3 sentences into a body paragraph. A body paragraph at a year 12 level is somewhere around 10 sentences. You are 30% into your body paragraph. So, we really need to get some analysis going here. In that fourth sentence, I'm really loving the phrasing that's going on, that Gardner is shaken by the realization. It would be, I think, even better if we could squeeze another quote in there. Maybe shaken is a quote, or we could find another adjective that we could squeeze in there instead of shaken. And that last phrase, ensue any inkling of subordination, fantastic, really great. I have no complaints about it. But there is still not enough analysis happening here. So far, we are still getting a lot of summary of events. There's a lot of Gardner is like this, he does this, he thinks this, but there's no real analysis of what the topic sentence has promised me, which is that duty and obedience conflict with morality. There's no real discussion about how this conflict happens. Why is it that duty and obedience has to conflict with morality? Why can they not all live happily ever after in the same boat? So I think there's some missed opportunities here for some discussion about how, because they are servants of the governor, that Gardner then realizes that, oh, I have no say in what I personally carry out. So I think there could be some really great discussion here that's not happening. The same problem persists in that next sentence, where again we are getting a lot of summary that, despite fearing for his life, he is troubled by the unethical way, which is great. It's clear in terms of this is conflict in the novel, and that this conflict is something to do with morality. But again, there's no real expansion of that idea that this conflict comes from morality and duty and obedience not fitting well together, not playing well together, and why that is, and what he does about it, and yada yada yada, all the things that you're expected to do in a text essay. I assume that last sentence is a link sentence because the topic sentence makes me think that this paragraph is about Gardner, and then that link sentence is going to talk about Rook and how duty and obedience clash with morality there. But I would say that if your next body paragraph is going to be about Rook and how duty and obedience also clash with his morality in the character of Rook, I would ask the question, why not do it all in the one body paragraph? Because your body paragraph needs to be about an idea, a main idea, or an interpretation of sorts. And if you're going to be saying the same things about Rook as you did about Gardner, then I think it makes a lot of sense to talk about it all in the same paragraph rather than splitting it up and then repeating yourself in that second body paragraph, or first, or whatever, third, and sound like you're saying the same things but you've just copy pasted in a new name of Rook rather than Gardner. So I think there's some real missed opportunities here in this body paragraph to talk about maybe how both of these characters struggle with balancing their duty and obedience to the governor and their own morality, and how these two characters have coped differently or similarly, up to you, depends on how you want to interpret it. I think that would have made for some really great analysis and some really insightful interpretation in this body paragraph, and then in the next body paragraph you can go and talk about something else about duty and obedience. So I hope that was helpful. As always, like and subscribe to all of our social media so you get our latest tips and tricks to achieving your best in your English subject. And as always, if you'd like to get some one-to-one tutoring in the eastern suburbs of Melbourne, please contact us and we can send someone to you. Thanks for watching.